Greetings, F1 enjoyers, and welcome to Mexico, everyone, or Mexico, or however you want to pronounce it. Hamilton is the third! Yes, it's happened! He's in the top 3! But anyways, the 2025 Mexico Grand Prix begins with the formation lap to get to the grid and Norris jump into the lead. And all of a sudden, chaos ensues and Verstappen is off course. Holy crapper! We haven't even started and there's already chaos. Even better is the fact that Hamilton is still third and the race gets yellow flagged for a brief moment. Verstappen does a great job at holding off Piastri. Holy crapper, Verstappen tries to get past Hamilton but isn't able to do so. Bearman is now in 4th and Hamilton hangs on to 3rd. Norris still leads even on lap 10. Sainz is the first driver to come down to pit road. Ocon gets into the grass. Russell and Piastri battle for 6th. Hamilton comes down to pit road. Piastri and Bearman are next to come down to pit road. A lap later, Russell joins in. Sainz is under investigation for speeding on pit road again. They never learn. Slow down on pit road, guys. You're not trying to race your way out of there. There's a reason why speed limits are implemented, you know. Hulkenberg is out of the race. Dang it! Verstappen is running in 3rd. Norris now has a 16-second lead gap. Holy crapper, that is a lot. Leclerc comes down to pit road. Verstappen pits on lap 38. Even on lap 40, there's still no stopping Norris. Russell and Antonelli have to deal with Piastri as he is right on their tails. Antonelli has to hold off Piastri. Hamilton is running in 7th and fell back really hard. Ah crap, so much for seeing him on the podium. Yeah, things aren't looking good for Lewis Hamilton. He switched manufacturers and he was once a Mercedes driver who got himself multiple world championships, and you think with him going over to Ferrari that he'll be just as good. Nope. So far, things aren't looking good for him in his venture to Ferrari. To make matters worse, Hamilton was even hit with a penalty. Every curse that there is has happened to him in one single race. I really hope that Hamilton wins in Brazil, because I really want to see him have his breakout moment. Verstappen and Hamilton battle for 7th, and Antonelli continues to hold off Piastri. He does get ahead of him in the pits when Piastri, Hamilton, and Antonelli make their pit stops. Russell gets the fastest lap of the race. Holy crapper, Bearman is in 4th. Keep in mind, Haas doesn't usually run the top 5, so seeing this is not normal sight. Verstappen and Leclerc battle for 2nd. Norris continues to trail ahead even with 10 to go. Oscar Piastri managed to get past George Russell. Wait, what? I wanted George Russell to have a good day, man. But Piastri is still running out of race if he plans to get past Bearman and Verstappen next. Nobody has challenged Lando Norris, so I guess qualifying is important after all. With 3 to go, all Norris has to do is not mess up and take the win. And the race gets yellow flagged as Sainz gets stuck. The virtual safety car gets deployed, but anyways. The yellow ended and Verstappen still can't get past Leclerc, and just like that, we have another anticlimactic finish. Yeah, this race was going so good until that happened. It's kind of like the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, except without the redeeming moment of Nico Hulkenberg's podium finish. It is really bad. As expected, we get interviews, driver talk in the cooldown room, and the winning driver's national anthem. I hate to say it, but the race gets a 7 out of 10 as the late yellow killed it. And the NASCAR race is much better, which is saying something. Keep in mind, Shane Van Gisbergen led that race with over 10 seconds. And no NASCAR racing cars have a hybrid system. You can't use the excuse that the hybrid system does all the work, because Shane Van Gisbergen is just that good. Yeah, but hey, at least the race didn't end under yellow in the NASCAR Cup Series, so it's that one rare instance where the NASCAR race is better than the Formula 1 race that's on the same track this year, which is saying something. But anyways, here's some bonus content for you to hopefully cleanse the palates.